thefam.news.
We are going behind the scenes with the fam's beautiful, talented director of events. We are wrapping up Sleep Summit 2024, and all the behind the scenes information is coming your way right now. Yes, we have the one and only Tara Kinsley, my wife. I'm lucky. The Fam Podcast starts right now. Hey, are you a mattress retailer looking to supercharge your business? Introducing Podium, your secret weapon. I use it. I'm a huge fan of it. And with Podium's AI-powered lead conversion, you can engage with customers in seconds via text, making it feel like they're talking to a friend. But hey, that's just the beginning. Podium offers texting, payments, reviews, website chat, and more, all in one place. You've got to be the most responsive retailer to help customers solve those sleep problems in the moment. Harness the power of Podium today and start growing your business. Visit podium.com right now to learn more.
Welcome to the Fam Podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the betting business get even better.
Welcome to the Fam Podcast for the first time ever together. I'm here with my beautiful, wonderful wife, Tara Kinsley, with her amazing Fam hat. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that. And we are recapping Sleep Summit 2024. We grew 15% over last year in a down economy. Thank you so much to everybody that came out and invested in being here, because transformation truly happens in person. Transformation both in your business, but also in those relationships. And there's nobody better in the world at creating community and building relationships than Tara Kinsley. Tara, welcome to the show.
Thank you. You're so sweet and complimentary. I need to get on here way more often.
You're welcome anytime. You probably hear me in my studio bloviating all the time anyway.
Okay.
If I lob you a softball, you got to take a swing.
I love you, so I'm just going to move on.
So for those of you who don't know Tara, many people in the fam, in our Mattress Mentorship Mastermind, in Dream Camp, in Sleep Summit, they know Tara because she's the one that is organizing so many different aspects of these events.
I provide all the good snacks. That's really why people like me. So.
Amazing snacks, for sure.
Snacks and food, that's it.
And you are a snack.
Oh, wow. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about it. So for those of you out there that aren't familiar with our events or haven't been to one, we put a lot of time and effort into making sure that, number one, we're creating a space where people can form community. And that's really what the fam is all about. That's why it's named the fam, because we're more than friends. We are a fam. But this year was really special because we went into Sleep Summit, the original Sleep Summit last year, with like eyes wide shut sort of thing. I mean, we had never hosted an event of that scale, and people showed up here in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas. So first of all, what I want you to do is tell us, like, compare and contrast last year's Sleep Summit to this year's Sleep Summit. What did you notice?
Well, I think doing anything a second time, there's a lot of things that are easier. And there's some things that might have been hard, but we knew to expect that this year. So also this year, I loved the event space. The venue change this year was awesome. I do love 21C. I loved hosting it there. But the Record was this industrial, cool space. I loved that we had the vendors and or sponsors in one section, and then we had our speaking kind of section. So to me, that was like a great space. It was fun. So I loved that for this year.
Yeah, and the space was super cool because it's called the Record, which is the name of an old newspaper. So it was like the Arkansas Gazette Record. And so they used to actually print the newspaper in this space. And so you see some of the ink splatters that are all over the wall, all around. Very industrial, big barn doors that open up into the venue space, exposed ceiling and beams. I loved it.
I did too.
Great job on that.
Oh, thanks. No, it was good. It was a great spot. So, and it's also centrally located. I mean, I love that Bentonville's super walkable for people. They don't have to rent a car. They just get down here and then they can just bop around. So.
Okay. Can I say one thing that drove me nuts?
Yeah.
I love all of you that came, but you need to listen to Tara whenever it comes to booking your hotel. Okay. Because some people are like, oh, I'm a Marriott guy, or I'm a like this and that, and they want to get their points. And I get it. But if you come to Bentonville for Sleep Summit 2025, and I'm sure you will, book at the hotels we tell you, because it changes the entire experience. We wanted Sleep Summit to be sort of like indoors, outdoors, not like stuck in a stuffy conference room. It's a summit. It's about unlocking solutions. And those in-between moments when people have a chance to walk back to their hotel or wander around our cute little downtown, it changes it.
It does. And it was so funny because like I did like scooter back and forth because we live super close to the event space. So I was getting things. A lot of you guys shipped me stuff. And so I was just kind of carrying things back and forth. And I was able to see people walking together and like hanging out, and people who I knew did not know each other. They were walking and talking. And so that those spaces in between those transitions, I do think they create special community. Mark and I were actually riding the scooter back to the house really quick for like an evening change to get somewhere. And we saw two of our VIPs walking. I think it was Steve and Brandon, maybe.
Yeah, it was
not Ferg, but
Stephen Hoke,
yeah.
Brandon Bain, yeah.
And so Mark went ahead and booted me off the scooter and gave both of them a ride to the VIP house, which was super fun.
Did I boot you? Hold on a second.
I think you did. No, we may have been riding two separate scooters.
We were on two separate scooters.
I think that's right. Sorry, I was trying to throw you under the bus there. Throw you under the scooter. But those were like special times where I was able to see people as I was kind of bopping around the community. And I loved that. Like I loved that they got to not just Steve and Brandon, but there were other people too that I witnessed.
I witnessed it. Well, and that's one thing I asked from the main stage, consistently is like, one of the things we do is how to be awesome. And we show people, here's how to welcome people into a conversation they may not be part of. Here's how to be friendly to people that may not be your friend right now. And the second thing we ask, I consistently ask throughout the week is, who made a new friend? And I ask people to share that, from the stage. So I love creating conditions where people can make a new friend. And then we also I think we work really hard to onboard people into like, hey, don't treat this like a regular conference where you sit back and consume. Get engaged and get active and go out there and make new friends and have, all these, I call it sticks of dynamite you could throw into any log jam at any point in the future. And so please share with us. If you made a new friend, head over to our LinkedIn and let us know. We love hearing that stuff.
Yeah, I love that too.
You're really good at creating community and helping people find new friends. Who did you notice maybe that was new this year that was finding friends or making friends?
I mean, the Bed Gear crew, they were new this year, and Taylor, Nicole,
Alec,
and Tyler, yes.
And then
Shayna, she came back. But all four of the new people, they were just in the mix. And I got to know Taylor and Nicole a little bit better. Also Tyler too. And I didn't talk to Alec as much, but I did a few times. And all four of them they were great. And they were kind of in the mix, meeting people. I loved seeing that. And it's cool to see a whole new group come in and really fit in and just, make new connections and people. So I feel like they are definitely a part of the fam, and I want them back. I loved that addition.
Yeah, I had a great chance to have dinner with Stephen Douglas. Now, Mike Douglas with Sleep Country Canada is a longtime friend. I think he's been to like every event that we've ever done. And Mike is absolutely amazing. He's just a bright light in the world. And I was like, I wonder if this guy that signed up is his brother. And sure enough, it was. And Stephen Douglas, I'm like, man, you guys are having a cool off now because you're both amazing guys. And that's super fun. And the other, speaking of friends, one of the things behind the scenes that happened, which I think is really, really funny, is everybody was kind of like made friends with Marty McFly.
He was definitely a surprise addition to. He stuck around. He came back to the wrap up party. I mean, he was in it to win it.
Yeah. So for those of you who weren't at the event, we went all out because our theme was back to the future of sleep, and we were going to rewind to what works and reimagine the future. Mm-hmm. And that's like, hey, what are the things that are timeless truths that we need to remind ourselves to be great in business? And then how are we going to shape the future? Where are things headed? And so as part of the Back to the Future theme, we, of course, in full fam lavish style, we found a time machine DeLorean that we brought in from Kansas City.
Correct.
And then we found a Marty McFly. The number one Marty McFly impersonator on the planet happens to live 30 minutes away. I mean, I got on the phone with them. I got on a Zoom ahead of time, and I'm like, he's like doing all this Marty McFly stuff. And I'm like, this is insane. This is insane. So walk people through like what happened with the reveal. Because I thought this was really fun.
It was great. I mean, we were able to get the DeLorean into the show space before most people got there, cover it up. And our Marty McFly impersonator sat in that car for probably an hour. So before everybody got into the space, he was just like in the car. We covered the car. And then at the very beginning, we kind of did a little skit, if you will.
Well, yeah. So I was going through my slides and like welcoming everybody to Arkansas. And then there was this massive power outage in the record venue space. Like everything shut down and it all went dark. And then bam, it was traveling through time and the time machine DeLorean was there and Marty McFly arrived in the middle of Sleep Summit 2024. And he and I had to figure it out together.
It was great. I love the smoke, and the DeLorean had all these kinds of lights, and it stayed there for the whole day. So I know there's some great pictures of our attendees with the DeLorean and with Marty McFly. Mark did buy some shoes that I don't think they actually ever made it on stage, but Kevin Kapperman had the same shoes, and he definitely wore his on stage. So,
yeah, Kevin was set up with scanfit.ai, which is like this body mapping technology that you don't have to lay down and do pressure mapping. And so we were like, hey, this is very futuristic. We love having stuff like that at Sleep Summit. But yeah, he was sporting the shoes. Actually, I forgot about this. Cap gave those shoes to the Marty McFly impersonator.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Afterward, he's like, hey, you want these?
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
He's like, hey, can I actually have them? Are you sure about that?
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah. That was great. Another one of my MVPs, I gotta shout out to Pascal. How do you say his last name? Roberge?
Roberge.
He's French Canadian. And he was, I mean, I've met him several times before. I love him. He and I have dogs in common. But he was just killer on helping me clean up, helping me move chairs, helping me move tables. I mean, Brent Batterman also was there for it. But Pascal
did a really great late night clean. So
he did.
Shout out to Pascal.
And we're talking way late night.
Way late night.
Like 4:00 in the morning.
Baudouin beds.
Yes. So
that's Pascal.
If anybody's there to help me clean up at 4:00 in the morning, they are ride or die. So.
And that was like after, this is definitely a Sleep Summit tradition, which is playing Thumper.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody ever played this? You like, okay, you and I, like with thumping, and then you do your symbol. It could be like this, and your symbol could be something else. Yeah, like that. And so then if she did that to me, I'd have to do her symbol and then my symbol to somebody else, and they'd have to do it back to me. And you do it over and over. And I think Megan Anderson is responsible for this, by the way.
Well, last year, I'm just thankful the cops didn't get called, because last year cops got called because they were thumping at like 2:30 in the morning. So
yeah, Bentonville's finest got to meet some of our wonderful Sleep Summit attendees last year, and we were very grateful for their Bentonville hospitality. But yeah, Thumper is definitely a tradition. So we'll have to see how it evolves for year 3.
For
but
sure.
you see people walking around the next day, like doing the symbol to other
to
people.
each other. Yeah, that's fun.
It's so funny. I love it. Now, not so funny, but also this is behind the scenes stuff, by the way. We're talking about Sleep Summit 2024 that happened back in October 8th through the 11th.
Correct.
Here in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas. Something not so funny was we have to have transportation. We live here. And you're zipping around from venue to venue and location and happy hour and dinners and all this different stuff. And so I got you a new scooter.
Scooters are the best way to travel right now in Bentonville, and maybe forever, because number one, they're fun, but Bentonville is growing exponentially. And so we have a lot of construction. I bet you guys noticed that. I'm excited for 2025 because hopefully a lot of it's going to be done. So there's a lot of road closures, a lot of kind of things you have to go around. So Mark and I use scooters a lot. My scooter,
like electric scooters.
Correct, electric scooters. My scooter broke in like August. And oddly enough, we have a lot of e-bikes around here, but like nobody will work on an electric scooter. So I'm not sure what the discrimination situation is there, but we couldn't get anybody to work on it. So Mark's like, I'm just going to buy you a new scooter. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. So the new
upgrade alert.
I mean, is it though? So the new scooter gets here. It looks like a small motorcycle. It is ginormous. It is heavy. It is also classified as an e-bike because this thing has 2 little pedals on it, which look absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, it's a 2-person, like Mark and I together can ride on this thing. So it is like a beast. And I'm used to just kind of like one of those little, Lime scooters that you can rent in cities, or it's a lightweight kind of stand-up situation with a basket. This thing is just a hog. And so I get on it. We get it the day before Sleep Summit starts, and it's a throttle as well. So, I mean, it's not just like press a button and you go. It's a throttle.
It's like you twist the handle sort of like a motorcycle. And up until then, you've been riding one where you had a thumb throttle.
Right. And so Steve Graven can attest to this because he saw it. I was pulling back in. I was coming from an MMM meeting to the house to grab something to go to the record. And I get the garage door open and I very lightly rest my hand on the throttle. And it just rams into the back of my car because I'm going into the garage. It flies out from underneath me. I fall. I get this like huge bruise on the backside of my arm. I think I threw out a rib. Can you do that? Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
And so anyway, I mean, it was a very scary little car accident. And then I get back up and I get back on it to like move it into the garage. I do it again and ram it into the side of our garage, like the wall. So anyway, it was quite the little scare before Sleep Summit. So I went back to riding our tiny little scooter that doesn't really have a lot of get up and go. I think that thing only goes like 14
But I did get you your exact same scooter.
You did.
So
after the
high boy's
incident,
back.
Yeah, I had asked for a high boy. I'd asked for a high boy. Mark thought the upgrade would be better. I did not want the upgrade. And so he finally.
But now we've got a scooter that both of us can ride on. And it does look like a scooter, and it is classified as an e-bike, so we don't have to have a license or insurance or anything like that. That's the hack, the workaround. I'm sorry you had that happen, by the way, because I saw your arm and I'm like, holy smokes, this is not good. But you were okay.
I'm fine. I mean, I can take it.
Speaking of like little things that happen behind the scenes, this is another story that unfolded in parallel 1985 to everything happening at Sleep Summit, was the saga of Kelly and Joe Charles.
Yep.
And Zave and Natalie, of course, they were all together. So Kelly actually, I think she posted this online, this story about what happened. I'm going to give the condensed version, but her version of the story is incredible. They were here as exhibitors at Sleep Summit to celebrate Big Mattress Outlet franchise opportunities, which are incredible. And as part of that, they participated in our very first pitch competition. So we had a pitch off. Great Scott, it's a pitch off as part of the Back to Future theme. So they brought, as part of their exhibit, Joe is a longtime race car driver who actually won a ton of races. Mm-hmm. And he's got this badass car, and they were going to bring it as part of their exhibit. And they did bring it, but not before breaking down. His truck broke down outside of Little Rock.
Yeah.
And they have this like brand new truck, but apparently the dealership that was maintaining it didn't change the fuel filters. Right. I think this is what it came down to. And so they had been neglecting it, and boom, it shoots craps. Somebody from the racing community.
Yes. Got them.
Yeah.
And so they brought from Little Rock to Sleep Summit. So they get here on time. They have the race car. Everything's good. I mean, y'all saw it. They won the pitch competition.
They won the pitch competition out of like more than a dozen pitchies.
We had 14
pitchers. Yeah, and they won the first ever FAMI for the pitch off. And it was amazing. Like their presentation, their clarity, the drama of the whole thing. We'll post. Let's just say there was like a killer video leading up to a big reveal and then an incredible pitch.
By the way, we are going to have a pitch off again next year, so get ready, y'all. Bring your best, because some of y'all could have done a little bit better. I'm just saying, I'm competitive. I like to see the best of the best.
We'll be posting too to show you like, here's what it's going to take to win the pitch off, because we didn't want to like hide our vendors and our exhibitor partners like away over on one side and never celebrate them, because people are there to do business and unlock solutions and find ideas. So like, hey, let's bring it to the main stage in a fun, meaningful way. But so Joe and Kelly did make it here. Thankful to this person from the racing community that out of the goodness of his heart, like took his big truck to haul this trailer and race car to Bentonville. They won the pitch competition. The race car was here. People were taking pictures with it and with the
Little
DeLorean.
Rock's like 3 hours away.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours.
So they definitely helped out a lot. So they're here. They win. It's awesome. They call the guy who's supposed to be fixing their truck after Sleep Summit, and it's not fixed. No big deal. Kelly's like, listen, we got to get home. Her daughter, Natalie, had come all the way from Canada. She works for Sleep Country Canada. And so she had a flight she had to catch on that Sunday. It's a Friday when they're leaving. So Joe's like, hey, I'll stay behind. Mark and I are like, of course, we have an extra bedroom or two. So stay with us. So that's Friday. Well, Friday was a great day. A couple people stayed behind. Mark took him mountain biking. It was awesome, beautiful. If you guys are headed here next year for 2025, plan on staying an extra day. It is so fun. If you don't want a mountain bike, there's like an amazing museum. It's called Crystal Bridges. Look it up. There's so many great things to do. We hung out with everybody who stayed behind, had some drinks. It was great. So Friday was a beautiful day. Saturday comes. Joe calls. They still are not going to be ready with the truck. It'll probably be Monday. Okay. He calls Monday, not ready. He calls Tuesday, not ready. He calls Wednesday.
And they said it's probably going to be done Thursday or Friday. He says, okay. And he grabs a U-Haul with a hitch that's, set up to tow a race car and a big trailer.
Right. And he heads down to Little Rock on Thursday morning. He has stayed in Bentonville an additional 6 nights waiting for his truck to be fixed. And he's ready to go home. He's a great roommate, by the way.
Awesome roommate.
Yes.
Like amazing roommate. And I think Jax, we had people stay at our house for 14 nights in a row.
Correct. 14
So
nights.
I think Jax, our dog, was just like, yeah, people live here now.
He's a great roommate.
By the way, here's Jaxie.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, Jax was a puppy last year. And this year he's a big boy. He's big, but this was Joe's roommate. Jaxie.
So anyway, Joe gets down to Little Rock Thursday afternoon.
Something great.
And
it's part of my Back to the Future shoes.
Oh yeah.
Jax, I give it to him. I don't care.
No, it's too little. So he gets down to Little Rock on Thursday afternoon, and he shows up at the dealership that's supposed to be fixing his car, and they haven't even started. And
they go, yeah, our diesel technician quit. And he goes, when did they quit? When did this person quit? Monday. Could you not have called him and said the diesel tech quit Monday instead of lying to him and saying they think it's going to be ready Thursday or Friday? The guy was clearly gone. They had no tech.
I mean.
So what happens?
Talk about 0 stars.
Joe shows up and he's got his race car and he's got the U-Haul and he has to turn in the U-Haul. Kelly has to get another truck from the dealership that failed to change the fuel filters, drive 8.5 hours, stay the night in Little Rock, and then drive back with Joe, the race car, and the trailer the next day. And I hope you're recovering.
I hope so too. And as of yesterday, I texted. Yesterday is Sunday, October the 20th. The truck is still not a thing. So anyway, he had some choice words to say about the truck. I won't repeat them on the podcast.
But I have said versions of those words on the podcast at some point, I'm sure. Another little behind the scenes thing, you were talking about Friday when people stayed. Of course, Joe was here and Matt Smith was here and Luis Solares was here. And I thought that was so cool because Luis was my licensee in Guatemala whenever I was responsible for Englander. And he came all the way up from Guatemala for Sleep Summit. And he was one of 3 Guatemalans. Christos and Christian Close and the Luis all came from Guatemala. And at one point, I had them singing the Guatemalan national anthem at the welcome party. Yep. But I just thought it's so cool. Like we have such a fam in Guatemala and in Mexico.
Yeah, we've got
Canada.
Pepe and Roy in Mexico. Also, James Perez and Michael Anciso, his crew stayed on Friday. Yep. Anciso You said ripped on the mountain bike, which
And
is
Cecil
awesome.
can ride,
That's
man.
that's what you said.
Yeah. He's always wearing race car driver shirts and stuff like that. So I think he's really into the speed scene.
I like it.
Um,
It was a good day for sure.
It was a great day. Yeah, I loved it. And by the way, real quick shout out also, speaking of a great day, Nathaniel Hancock with Podium spoke on the main stage, had some great data, some great updates from an AI perspective, what Podium is doing. And we found out ahead of time that Than, he goes by Than, is a big time Swiftie. Okay. Big time Swiftie.
Part of it is because he has, did he say 5
I think he has 5 daughters.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, how can you not? Like, either you're going to have to love her or hate her at that moment. And so why not choose love?
Why not choose love? So we did find out that he was a Swiftie ahead of time. And we got him friendship bracelets.
Yep.
And we got him a calm down pink sleep mask.
Yep.
And then we also got him a card that says, you make the whole place shimmer.
Yes. It was good. Yeah. I'm thankful for him.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
Anyway, that's
Did you just mouth to me, let's wrap it up?
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, there's a camera right there.
Sorry. This is all new to me.
Let's wrap. We need to wrap. Put a hard wrap on it.
Let's go.
All right, well, hey, we'll wrap it up with this. Number one, thank you so much to everybody that came to Sleep Summit 2024. We can't wait to see you in 2025. The dates are locked. October 14th through the 17th, back here in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas.
So you
right?
check out the 18th.
Yeah.
Just come on the Tuesday, leave on a Friday, 14th through the 18th.
No. 14th is arrival. 15, 16 are full days.
Oh.
Depart on the 17th.
I just want everybody to stay on Friday.
You can stay on Friday
and
too.
play.
And play.
Because
Let's do
I'll
it.
organize it. I promise.
And we'll take you mountain biking. But between now and then, quick announcement we made at Sleep Summit as well is Dream Camp is locked for 2025. We're going to San Antonio.
Guys, I'm super excited about this one. And I didn't know. I had never been to San Antonio. And so we checked it out in September. There's this awesome district. It's called the Pearl District. We're staying at a hotel called Hotel Emma that used to be a brewery. How cool is that? So there's just like a lot of unique features. The food scene there is off the chain. It is super
It is
good.
a AAA 5-diamond awarded hotel. They're so rare. In this entire district, you can walk around with open containers, and they have grocery stores and restaurants, and they have a music venue, and they have all kinds of fun stuff.
Institute of America has a campus there. It's just going to be really fun. So check that out. This year back to all inclusive, so your ticket price includes the hotel. So we're really excited about that. But
And we're going to cap it at 40 people, and we already have
several sign-ups.
6 that signed up at Sleep Summit. Okay, so if you're a coin holder, you can sign up anytime. But if you're not a coin holder, you just have to apply, just like the CEO of King Coil did last year, David Binky, who came to Dream Camp Palm Springs. So
I want to
applying
say
is cool.
something. Applying is not like we're not.
Applying is more like onboarding.
Correct.
Like if you apply, there's a reason we have you go through the application process. But all we're asking is trust the process.
Yeah.
Because we're onboarding you into a very unique retreat-like experience that we want you to get the most.
Because I had somebody say to me, and I'm not going to say who it was, but they were like, I don't want to apply and then get rejected. And I'm like, you're not going to get rejected. That's not what it's about. So apply. We want to see you there. Yeah.
And by the way, the Dream Camp Guide in Residence this year, imagine what would it cost you to spend 2 full days with the former president of Sleep Train that had more than 360 stores. Hernani Alves is coming as our Dream Camp Guide in Residence. They had more than 360 stores. You want to learn about growing a mattress business from the best in the business? He's our guide in residence.
Yeah, he's going to be awesome. And also, guys, we have a ton of fun. I mean, always so much fun.
Do you know how to have fun?
I know.
Really?
I like having fun. I turned it into a job. I liked it so much.
You're the CFO, Chief Fun Officer. Awesome. Hey, well, thank you so much for being on the pod.
Yeah.
And for being my wife.
Yeah.
It's amazing to be your husband. I'm the luckiest.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And my dog's walking away with my shoe. There goes Kevin Kappenman's shoe. Hey, thank you everybody that came to Sleep Summit. Thank you to Tara and Adrian. You all did so amazing and brought so much love and light and effervescence to every moment. And we had a great Sleep Summit. I can't wait to do it again.
I can't either. We love this community so much. So Sleep Summit 2025, let's go.